Hey guys, how's it going? This is Autobot JCB here again for another How to Transform video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to transform the 2005 Transformer Cybertron Mudflap and the Transformer Cybertron Dirtboss. Now, as you can see here, Mudflap's vehicle mode is that of a huge crane. He's got this gigantic crane arm mounted on the top of him. And Dirtboss's vehicle mode is that of a monster truck. Now, one other thing you will notice is that Mudflap comes with a blue cyberplanet key, indicating that he is from Earth, and Dirtboss has a red cyberplanet key, indicating that he is from the speed planet Velocitron. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go over a couple of features that these guys have while they are in their vehicle mode, and then we will get on to transformation and cyber key abilities. So for right now, we're going to move Dirtboss off to the side, and we're going to bring Mudflap in for a little bit of a close-up. Like I stated, Mudflap is a pretty well-detailed crane. Even though these don't actually work, I love how they made sure to include the stabilizers for when the crane is being used. The crane itself will actually raise and lower, and it even has this awesome hydraulic line on here. The whole back section where the crane is attached will spin both directions, and it can spin 360 degrees, enabling you guys to set up like a construction zone where Mudflap is helping out. Now, as you can see here, Mudflap is stamped with the Decepticon symbol. Now, if my understanding is correct, if I remember correctly, when Optimus brought the Transformers to Earth, Mudflap was one of them, but unfortunately he decided that he was going to turn against Optimus and he joined the Decepticons. One other thing that was hard for the Autobots was that the Autobot Landmine, who stated in the show that he actually raised Mudflap, was especially heartbroken because basically his best friend, his son, his younger brother, whatever you want to call him, ultimately turned his back on the Autobots' cause, which was very painful for Landmine. Ultimately, Mudflap did see the error of his ways and rejoined with the Autobots towards the end of the series, and that really helped Landmine to heal. All right. And then in addition to the crane, you'll notice right here that there is a missile mounted right here. What you can actually do is if you take the cyber key and you insert it into this port right here, it will actually deploy a rocket launcher that is mounted on the top of the cab. Now, you can use the rocket launcher while he's in his vehicle mode or while he's in his alt mode. Either one works, and it does actually fire. It has a little trigger that's mounted right here, and the spring that's in here actually has quite a bit of pressure behind it. But anyway, now going back to the crane really quick, one thing I wanted to also point out is that in addition to being able to go 360 degrees and raise up and down, you can also extend or retract the crane as much as you want. But right now, we're going to go ahead and leave the crane extended just for right now, because we're going to move Mudflap off the side and we're going to bring in Dirtboss. Now, like I stated, Dirtboss is that of a monster truck, but he actually has a secondary vehicle mode. Like I said, Dirtboss is from the planet Velocitron, which obviously, if you're going to live on Velocitron, you have to have the ability to go fast. Obviously, a monster truck isn't very fast. That is why, if you take the cyber key and you insert it into this port right here, what it will actually do is it will convert Dirtboss into a low riding car so he can actually go faster. And I'll show you guys that one more time. So we got the monster truck mode right there. And we'll insert the cyber key and boom. And there he's got a race car mode. I think that's pretty neat feature. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to transform Mudflap. So we're going to go ahead and bring the missile and the cyber key back in, and we're going to bring Mudflap back in. All right, so this transformation is relatively easy. He's basically just kind of in a split position when he's in his vehicle mode. So all you got to really do is just put his legs down and put his arms down. That's pretty much all you have to do. So what we're going to do first is we're going to come up to the crane, and we're actually going to put the crane all the way back into its locked position, just like that. And then we're going to bring the crane up just like that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to come right here, and right here. And we're going to flip these wheels up like this and flip these wheels up just like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to turn it so that way this panel is facing out, because this panel right here will be Mudflap's chest. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to pop this up off of all of these little pins. And this is just kind of on like a little hinge right here. It's a little double set hinge. We're going to pop that up just like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab right here and right here. And we're going to pull those apart. Bring this section down just like that. And then what we'll do is we're going to turn this 180 degrees. So that way this red panel faces forward. And then what we'll do is we'll turn this piece right here and flip open this panel just like that. And there we already have one of Mudflap's legs. Now we're going to come over here to the other side and we're going to do the same thing. Well, one thing I forgot to point out, make sure you spin the crane all the way around so that way it clears the body of the truck, so that way it's out of the way. And this will also pop up on that same type of hinge just like the other side. And then we'll grab right here and right here, pop that apart, bring that down, and we'll pin that together just like that. Spin this all the way around, flip that back around, and pop that up just like that. The next thing we'll do is if you grab right here, go ahead and pull it, and it will actually reveal a little knee joint right there. We'll go ahead and do that on the other side too. And there we have Mudflap's legs ready to go. All right, so coming back over to the arm, what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and push this all the way up just like that. And then before you bring his arm down, make sure you take this panel right here. It's very thin plastic. Be very careful. Pop that up and then bring his arm down. That will allow you to actually bend his elbow without damaging it. All right, just give me 1 second. I'm going to move the camera up a little bit. Sorry. There we go. All right. So now coming over to the other arm, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pop that up into position just like that. We're going to bring the crane straight out. We're going to flip this panel up and bring the arm down. Now, one thing you can do if you want, you can actually turn the craner all the way around, just like Mudflap typically has it while he's in his alt mode in the show. And then what you're going to do next is go ahead and come back here and turn this panel, turn these wheels just like that, so they look like that coming off his back. All right, so there's Mudflap, and then the last thing we'll do is we're going to open up the panel on his chest, flip up his head, and then close his chest. And there we have Mudflap. As you can see here, the amount of detail in this figure is very good. I think that they knocked this design out of the park. They did a really great job with it. This is actually one of my favorites because of how much detail he actually has and how accurate, how close his transformation is to how he actually transforms in the show. Sometimes it's kind of a hit and miss when it comes to the actual toys compared to the cartoon, their cartoon counterparts. But this one, in my opinion, 9 out of 10. This one's a great one. All right. So now we're going to go over some of the cyber key abilities. So what we're going to do first is we're actually going to turn his crane all the way around. And let me get this arm bent the other way. And I got to move him way back in order for you guys to see this. And what we'll do is we're going to slide the crane out. See, I got to move him way back. And then right here is the cyber key port. And when you put the key in, what that will do is it'll unlock the switch right here. Oops, excuse me. Which will allow you to flip out his sword. The fact that they have his sword attached to the end of the crane like this is absolutely ridiculous. Because his arm is now over a foot long. ultimately, I'm not complaining because it would be one heck of a weapon to have if you're fighting somebody. And then one thing that's interesting is that sometimes like some weapons can lock back in without the key having to be taken out. This one actually has to be taken out in order to put his sword back into the crane. And what it'll do is it'll just fit back into its set. And mine is not, there it goes. And it'll just click back in just like that. And then you can just push the arm back in just like that. And then, like I showed you while he was in his vehicle mode, he has the secondary cyber key port on his other arm, which if you insert the key, it will activate his rocket launcher. And then he can use a ranged attack, which is kind of neat. So there's Mudflap. There is Mudflap all set and ready to go. And now what we're going to do is we're going to move him off to the side because now I'm going to show you Dirtboss. So we're going to bring back Dirtboss, and we're going to put him, make sure he's back in his monster truck mode. Now this one's actually pretty easy. Now when you're transforming him, you do not actually have to put the cyber key into the port in order to put him into his race car mode. Once you get to a certain part in the transformation, it will actually do it by itself. So what we're going to do first is we're going to come right here and we're going to open up the grill or the front bumper of his vehicle mode. And we're going to go ahead and pull these forward just like this. And then we're going to turn them just like that because these are going to be Dirtboss's legs, just like that. So there we go. He's already halfway done. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to come right here because this side panel right here will actually be his arm. Now, when you unhook his arm, it's actually pegged in right here, and then there's a small peg on this gray piece attached to this exhaust pipe. So you have to make sure both of them come out. As you can see here, there's the port, there's the pin, there's the pin, there's the port, just like that. Then what we'll do is we'll come over here, we'll do the exact same thing right over here. And then what we'll do is we'll fold this back. Actually, you know what? I did make a mistake. We do actually have to put the key in to fix that. There we go. So now what we'll do is we'll come back here and we'll move this back just like this. And we'll fold up these gray panels up onto his arms just like that. We'll turn his arms, bend his arms, and then bring his arm down just like that. So we'll bring the arm forward. We'll flip this panel, turn the arm, bend the arm, bring the arm down just like that. Then what we'll do is we'll come right here, and there's a little lip. There's a little lip right here. You can see where the seam is. Go ahead and take your fingernail and open that up, and that will bring Dirtboss's head out of its compartment. And there we have Dirtboss. As you can see here, pretty simple transformation. I have to admit, I like the combination of the purple and green. It kind of makes me think of like Scavenger from Transformers Armada. It also makes me think of like Devastator colors. And I especially like that they actually recycled the name Dirtboss because Dirtboss was actually one of the 3 minicons that made up the Skyboom shield in the Transformers Armada series. But now, one other thing I wanted to show you is his secondary cyber key ability. Like I showed you, when he's in his vehicle mode, he has the monster truck mode. But if you put the key in while he's in his alt mode, you will get 2 cannons that flip out on either side of his shoulders. So now he has some weapons. But anyway, guys, so there is the 2005 Transformers Cybertron Mudflap and Dirtboss. If you guys have any other ideas for other Transformers you'd like me to try and do, feel free to comment below. Even hit that like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell. I'm gonna keep going with these double videos as we progress. Like I said, if you guys have any combinations you want me to do, let me know, and I will do what I can to help you out. Until then, bye.